Good morning and welcome to our Board of Commissioners meeting this Tuesday, March 8th. For those who are wondering why we're getting started at 9:15, we had our annual solid waste meeting at 8 o'clock this morning and it didn't end until 9, and so we had a brief break prior to the start of this meeting. As is typical for our meetings, we have an invocation followed by the pledge, and I'm pleased that Reverend Mark Beatty is here with Holy Trinity Lutheran Church to provide our invocation, and that will be followed by the pledge by Officer Daniel George. For those of you willing and able, please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Thank you so much for the opportunity of being able to pray for you today. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. Let us pray. Lord God, we pray this day for freedom. We pray this day very mindful that out in the world in various places, and especially now in Ukraine, there are people who are fighting for their very lives for the possibility of simply to be able to live free. And so our prayers go out to them this day. Here in Cobb County, and for our commissioners, and for the calling that they have here in this place, may we never take one scrap of our freedom for granted, but may we live fully and abundantly. May each ordinance, may each step, may each action we take draw us together as a community, as one family, living more in freedom with the abundant life that you have called us to live. And may that be infectious, even in small ways, each step that we have for more freedom and more abundance as you would have us to live, to be infectious out into the world, to make a difference so that more and more of your children can live truly and abundantly in freedom. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that beautiful invocation. Forgot to share that our officer that was with us today is from Precinct 2. With that, I'll officially call today's meeting to order. To kick things off, we have a presentation that will be brought by our county staff, and that is to present the 2021 Silver Eagle Award on behalf of the Cobb County Management Team.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity to present this award. Each year, the Silver Eagle Award is presented to the member of the Cobb County Management Team who is selected through election of his or her peers. The award recognizes a team member who has demonstrated teamwork and exhibited outstanding leadership among the department management team during the calendar year. The 2021 Silver Eagle Award winner has worked tirelessly for the county and is challenged daily with effectively communicating with the public to ensure they are receiving relevant, essential, and correct information. His energy, skills, experience, humility, and attitude make him a leader that gains the trust, respect, and confidence of his team, county departments, and the citizens. His work ethic exhibits an extreme amount of loyalty to Cobb County and the constituents we serve. From numerous town halls to department special events, he can be seen with a camera in his hand capturing the moments. He is supportive of his team as well as other county team members, as exhibited in his creation of needed promotional videos, photographs of special events, and the other public relations pieces. He helps the county and its departments tell their stories by developing strong, clear messages that citizens can easily access. When working with departments, he makes sure their messages are aligned with the county's missions and values. He is pulled into many meetings, projects, and county initiatives to include weather issues, the World Series, and the pandemic. Throughout the pandemic, he led the effort to keep the public and county personnel informed. With CDC guidance continually changing and the impacts of several variants, this has been a daunting task. He is loyal to the county and has remained committed through challenging times. Even with an increased workload, he always answers the calls for service, maintains a positive attitude, and leads his team with the best possible outlook. It is my privilege to present the 2021 Silver Eagle Award to Ross Cabot.
Thank you. Most people don't know this, but I've known Cassie for a very, very long time. Since she was a little police PIO. And I was a reporter saying, we can do this as long as it takes. Do you want me to vamp? Because you know I can. Hey, there they are. You're late. By the way, some of you out there need to work on your lives. I'm just going to say. This is my wife, Marge,
Nice to meet
my
you all.
daughter, Caroline, and future son-in-law, Grayson. And my daughter, Megan, and her husband, Derek, are up in home of the Big Ten champions, Illinois, hopefully watching this somewhere. I really appreciate this. To my staff, I definitely want to give them a shout out. Communications department, just a small, somewhat dysfunctional, but always fun department. And we survive by doing if it happens in the basement, it stays in the basement theory. I came to this job several years ago because I wanted to do something different. I'd been in a career that I'd had really since high school, and I wanted to learn new things and experience lessons in leadership. And my fellow department managers have certainly taught me a lot in that time. I don't think the public realizes the stress that we are all under these days, trying to provide great service, not just good service, but great service to the people of Cobb County under very trying times when our budgets have remained stable. We've had trouble hiring people, and it's just been a very difficult atmosphere. So for my fellow department managers who voted for me, I do appreciate it. I will say this, I've learned a lot from you, and I've learned that leadership can come in different faces, forms, and styles, but be equally as effective. So appreciate y'all. And for my family, a little bit of apology. I think when I took this job nearly 5 years ago, I thought my hours might improve a little bit, but that did not happen. But I do love working for the county. I live here. I have lived here for a long time. I do want to provide the best that we can for the county and continue to do that moving forward. So thank you, everybody, and thank you. Let me get a picture of this. Yeah, come on. We have to balance out.
All right, Commissioner Burrow, just a little bit closer. Okay, no, you're good. I didn't know you were perfect. On three. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Ross. Thank you.
All right, our next presentation, which is to recognize today as Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day, will be brought by our District 3 Commissioner, Commissioner Burrell.
Good morning, everyone. If I could have Elisa Garnett, Laurie Ross, Job C. Alexander, and Dr. Gibson. Thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do for us. National Nutrition Month is an annual campaign created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And in the month of March, we are here to recognize these dietitians that help us with our nutrition and lessons and all that good stuff. So I'm going to read the proclamation, and then I'll ask y'all to say a few words, if you will, about the program and what it means. Whereas National Nutrition Month is an annual campaign created by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. During the month of March, everyone is invited to learn about making informed food choices and developing healthful eating and physical activity habits. And whereas this year's theme, Celebrate a World of Flavors, showcases how flavors from cultures around the world is a tasty way to nourish ourselves and appreciate our diversity. We are all unique with different bodies, goals, backgrounds, and tastes. Whereas National Nutrition Month was initiated in 1973 as National Nutrition Week, and it became a month-long observance in 1980 in response to growing interest in nutrition. The second Wednesday of March is Registered Dietitian Nutrition Day, an annual celebration of the dedication of RDNs as the leading advocates for advancing the nutritional status of Americans and people around the world. And whereas registered dietitian nutritionists are the food and nutrition experts who can translate the science of nutrition into practical solutions for healthy living. They have degrees in nutrition, dietetics, public health, or related field from well-respected accredited colleges and universities, completed an internship, and passed an exam. They use their nutrition expertise to help individuals make unique, positive lifestyle changes. Therefore, we, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim March 9th as Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day in Cobb, and we acknowledge the efforts of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and encourage everyone to increase their awareness and understanding of the benefits of a healthy lifestyle, living a healthy lifestyle. This is the 8th day of March, 2022. Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Burrell. We celebrate our profession and also National Nutrition Month, so thank you so much. I am the director of the Cobb and Douglas County WIC programs. So we serve almost 10,000 low-income women, infants, and children within our counties, and we are pleased to work towards health equity in our community, and also work alongside you and the other commissioners and chairwoman as well to create a healthier and safer community. Thank you. Oh yes, and my name is Elisa Garnett.
Hi, I'm Jopsy Alexander. I am with Cobb County Senior Services. I am the manager of nutrition services, and I oversee the Meals on Wheels program as well as other nutrition programs for the senior services. It has been a privilege to work for the county for the last 13 years, and I love, the flavor of the our culture is so different, and our seniors enjoy learning new things. So this month is a very interesting month, and I'm very excited to be working with them on that. So,
we thank you and are happy we can recognize you for this important day tomorrow, but we need to celebrate the whole month. And we need to talk, to eat healthy. So thank you, and thank you for what you do. My husband and I are volunteers for Meals on Wheels, because a lot of times when the county is closed on holidays, different churches pick up the task of delivering Meals on Wheels. So it's a great program, and we appreciate all you do. I'll give you that her picture. Just Yes, ma'am. Surround it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Who's next? Are you next? Oh, Raymond, can we all come down?
Yes, commissioners, can you join me down up front, please? I'd like to have Raymond Goslow with Cobb County Libraries also join me here. There he is with his KSU shirt. Hey, good to see you. Thank you. Please join us. Why don't you come forward?
get to meet him in
Center.
person.
Yes. Many of you may not recognize him here in front of us because we're so used to seeing him on the big screen. Raymond, he represented Cobb County and KSU very well when he competed in the national competition of college students with Jeopardy. And we're so happy to not only have you here in Cobb, but to have you be a part of Cobb County government. And we just could not pass up the opportunity to put you in front of our big screen, Channel 23, and recognize you in front of your peers and neighbors here in Cobb. So with that, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners congratulates Cobb Senior Library Assistant Raymond Goslow for your second place $100,000 win in the 2022 Jeopardy National College Championship. We applaud you for your outstanding performance representing Kennesaw State University, and we recognize your commitment to higher learning. This prestigious achievement reflects your hard work and focus. We are extremely proud of how you represented Cobb County and your school. This the 8th day of March 2022. All right, Raymond. Look at that. That's your team out there. So tell us, how was it?
It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, like something I'm never going to forget. Like, it didn't feel real for so long, just being whisked off to California to film this entire television show. You know, I didn't even tell my parents I was going. And just to not be able to tell anyone that, not be able to reveal how it all ended, even though I knew for 3 months how it all went. So I think I can put like able to keep information confidential on my resume now. But is it all right if I just talk a little more about the experience? Yeah. So I'm sure when you think about Jeopardy as a show, as a competition, like you associate the number one skill needed for it is knowledge, obviously. There's other things involved. You got to be able to buzz in really fast. You have to be able to make good wagers. A lot of it's a gambling thing, really. But knowledge is the number one like thing you need to go succeed on Jeopardy. And not any kind of like specific knowledge, but a general, wide-ranging, well-rounded knowledge. And that's exactly what the library provides, both to citizens and to employees. Just like if you work in a candy shop, you can't help but go home like smelling like sugar. If you go to the library, you can't help but go home like covered in knowledge. So that is, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And yes, the library supports that passionate curiosity that I've always had. I did not like, when I started volunteering at the library at the age of 16, like that was not like the first step in my preparation to one day go represent on Jeopardy. Like it's something I'd been preparing for my entire life just by having that passionate curiosity. But that's what drew me to the library in the first place. And it all comes around. The library supports that curiosity, that desire to learn that all of us have. And I'm just so proud to work for the library and to be here in Cobb County where we support our libraries and support our citizens in that passionate curiosity and search for knowledge.
Love it. Let's trade. That's your certificate. We're going to take a picture together, but I would be remiss if I did not bring up those who are here to support you as part of Cobb Libraries. Tanks, I see you there in the audience. We'll let you come up here too. Anybody here with public services who would like to take a picture with this fine, young, educated man that we have here in Cobb County, please feel free to do so when we do our second round of pictures. So, Aqua, if you can take us first. Oh, excuse me. I'm remiss. There are commissioners that want to say something. I'm sorry. I'm going to pass the mic.
Congratulations. Ditto, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, I have to say that we all watched in excitement to have this young man represent KSU, but also our Cobb Libraries. I was totally amazed. Every answer, and he just kept going. How does this young kid know all this stuff? But you are awesome. You're always going to be number one in our hearts. And I just have one question. Now that you won $100,000, are you going to stay with the library? Are you going to still work at the library?
$100,000 is a lot of money, but it's not enough to retire off of.
Good answer.
Just wanted to say congratulations. Congratulations. You've made us proud.
And he answered all the emails of congratulations.
Thank you. Excuse me.
On three. 1, 2, 3. And one more. Oh, wait.
All right. If we have public services staff, Jimmy Giese, if you would like to represent the county manager's office. Yes, sir.
Make sure to answer every message, every email from everyone.
Hello. Hi, guys. How are you? We're going to have to do a double row. For those of us who may stand tall, but not in our hearts and not necessarily in height, we got to do a double row, guys. We got to do a double row. Okay. Come on. Yes. Come on.
Almost.
Oh, yes. Please.
Yes, I wanted to share a message from the director of libraries. She's unable to be here today, but she said, kudos. She said, and please stay with the libraries. That was her comment. Yeah.
Did you want to share any remarks?
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, as well as the Library Foundation Board, we are so proud and we're so glad that you're staying with us, and just want to make sure that next week we have our gala and you are invited to attend as our guest, with a guest. So we look forward to seeing you then as well.
Anyone else? No. Okay. All right. Congratulations. We're so happy for you.
Just down the road. You know where to find us.
That's in my district. Congratulations again.
Okay. Got a couple more sheets of paper, but I'll see if I lift it up here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Commissioners, please step down for our next presentation. Our next presentation is to recognize some county groundbreaking women during this month of Women's History. And I wonder who those groundbreaking women might be. Ladies, you knew that when we were elected in 2020 and 2018, that we made history for Cobb County. And we did not only make it when we were elected, we make it every day as we serve. And I would have been remiss if I let this month go by without telling you just how much I appreciate you, how excited I am by the work that we do, and how not only do we get to lead a community of almost 800,000 residents, we get to encourage so many young women to believe that they can aspire into roles of leadership where we are and beyond. And so I just wanted to share some words that I wrote to recognize you, to recognize the women of this county, and to also grace you with a little something you could take away from today. Commissioners and women of Cobb County, again, I wanted to take the time to ensure that I acknowledge you, that I honor you, and I encourage you today. I want to let you know that I see you, I value you, I support you. Even with our many differences, in so many ways, we are still one. As daughters, as sisters, as mothers, as leaders, as organizers in chief, as overcomers, and so much more. Through us, there is life, and that life is not just for us, it is for all. My sons, my husband, my father are a part of my story, and the men that helped me, believed in me, and weren't unwilling to work besides me, and even those who challenged me, they all helped to create all of our stories or her stories. I thank them today, but I thank you. Thank you for being willing to step up and lead as commissioners. Thank you, our county manager who wasn't here, our department heads, our managers, our supervisors, our team leads, all of our employees in every one of our agencies and departments. Thank you for always rising to the occasion. Thank you, every woman that contributes to the operation of our county and our communities, whether that community is the neighborhood, a circle of friends, or the persons that live under your roof. Thank you. Thank you every day for what you do, how you do, who you are, and how you are as women. Thank you. So as women, you know we gotta look good. Whenever we make a presentation, we can't just be walking around with sheets of paper in our hand. And so we have some notebooks that can help you look good as you represent Cobb County. I just wanted to share this with each of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. And thank all of you. So, yeah. You're welcome. So we'll take a picture. Okay, put my bags off.
And one more. Thank you.
And then, Aqua, I know you're behind that camera, but I wanted to invite all of the women who work with Cobb County to please come up for a picture for Women's History Month. And we'll all take a picture together. So that means we'll need a man to please help us in taking the photo of all these women who are here today.
Can Ryan? He's honoring. He's with all these women every day.
Ryan, may you take a picture on behalf of the commissioners for us? Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Great, come on down, yes. We're gonna have to do 2 lines, ladies. So, those of us, yes, come on, we'll join here. Some of us who are a little bit shorter can. Yep. All right. Yep. Are we balanced? Yeah, we may need a couple. Okay, we can scoot down or have a couple come down here. Jatan, yes, if you can.
Come on that side.
You're right.
How about we have some people in the back?
Oh, Oh.
Well, with the commissioner.
Okay, well, the commissioners can stand in the back. Thank you, Ed. Wow. Exactly. All right, leading ladies. Move this chair. Yes, we can squeeze it. Not yet, not yet.
Amberlyn?
Yeah.
Okay, all three? 1, 2, 3. Hold that, please. One more.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome. With that, we are going to have our final presentation to be brought by Commissioner Gambrill.
And if we can have members of the Beta Club join me, please.
These are our future Jeopardy. All right. I recognize these people.
Great, come on in. Great, thank you for joining us this morning. This is a proclamation that we're going to give you as the National Beta Club is the largest student academic organization in the nation with 445,000 active members in more than 9,600 clubs. March 7th through 11th of 2022 will be observed as National Beta Club Week. And whereas the first National Beta Club Week was recognized in 1972, calling upon all citizens to encourage the Beta Club in its efforts to promote the ideals of honesty, service, and leadership among junior and senior high school students. The National Beta Club promotes the development of student leaders by striving for excellence in academics, service, character, and leadership. There are universal requirements, but each club has its own criteria for selection. Therefore, we, the Cobb County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the week of March 7th through 11th, 2022 as Beta Club Week in Cobb County, and hereby call upon the community to render support to members of this organization and to make themselves aware of the National Beta Club, whose members are preparing themselves to be better, more responsible citizens and leaders as they provide meaningful service to our community. This, the 8th day of March, 2022. Thank you. Would one of you like to speak? Would you?
I just want to say that I'm very proud of my club and thank you guys for letting us come up here today because this means a lot to us. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else want to say anything?
This club means a lot to me as I saw some familiar faces. So my children were a part of this club, and it is a club primarily of homeschool children here in Cobb County, and I'm so excited for all you guys accomplish every day, and I'm happy to see you today.
Congratulations.
Don't be shy. You can come up here and take a picture of your children. Yes, we have one of our youth commissioners who's actually here as well. Very good. And you'll have to pardon me, we do have yet another presentation. We just have some great things going on here in Cobb County, and we recently learned that our 911 director was voted 911 Director of the Year. Yes, sir, so wanted to make sure we recognize her.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, Deputy County Manager. I have the honor this morning to ask you to join me in a few moments down front to recognize and celebrate the selection of our 911 Director, Melissa Altario, for the 911 Director of the Year at the Georgia Emergency Communications Conference Awards Program. And to maintain the integrity of the selection process, Georgia utilized the South Carolina Association of Public Safety Communications officials to make this selection. So it was an unbiased process. And in just a moment, I'll ask them to come up. And we were able to go down last week. She didn't know she was getting the award. And some of Public Safety Command staff and some of the 911 staff were able to go down and be a part of that presentation, and it was very exciting. And while they're coming up and while you are coming down, I just want to make this last plug. Lady leadership, we're recognizing that again this morning. And I think also this is just another example that Cobb County has the leadership and boots on the ground that provide the very best services that our citizens and visitors can expect. And I just wanted to remind all of us of that, and this is one example of that. So on behalf of all of the Cobb County Department Management team, we want to congratulate Melissa on this award.
And already winning an award. You need balance. Where are you? We're good. On three. 1, 2, 3, stop. Oh, wait. It's held in my first. On 3. 1, 2, 3. And others. Any words? Any words?
Let me get this to her.
I know, right?
I do not handle recognition well, so I will just graciously say thank you and then take the opportunity to recognize the team here and the team that are actually working today, because without them, this would not have happened. This is not really my award. This is theirs. I didn't do anything alone. I do it with the team, and they're the ones that inspire and motivate me every day. So I just want to say thank you to them and those of you who came here today, and appreciate it.
All right. We are now at the public comment portion of our meeting.
Thank you, Chairwoman. As the board provides the podium for public comment, it's appropriate to review the related meeting rules. Please state your name, and if you're speaking on behalf of any organization, all comments should be addressed through the chair. Public comment is not a dialogue with the board, but an opportunity for speakers to provide their comments to the board. The comments should not be impertinent, derogatory, offensive, or slanderous. To that end, the board encourages, regardless of the topic, the audience to be respectful and courteous to the speakers. Everyone attending this meeting should give others the right to both listen and be heard by treating each other with civility. Statements made during the public comments portion do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the board or the administration of Cobb County government. And just a reminder to the speakers, there is a timer on the podium, and the timer is 5 minutes. With that, the first speaker is Mr. Wright.
Hill Wright. 6 months ago today, residents in each district of Cobb woke up to the aftermath of the storm. Little did they know how much of a colossal failure the response by the county government would be. How quickly the county leadership sought to turn a page. How little interest there has been except for Commissioner Richardson and then Commissioner Gambrill, who at least questioned what the county is doing. Where's the leadership concern from the chair? The citizens look at Cobb County, look at what Cobb County has for stormwater management and know it doesn't make sense. The whole of the stormwater budget is less than the consent agenda spend. Drainage that serves a wide area in one yard is a county asset, but the same type of drainage in the same stream in another yard isn't a county asset. Pipes in one stream is a county asset all day long, but the very same setup in another stream isn't. Residents have lived in their homes for decades and didn't have issues when they bought their homes, yet decades later, they're being flooded out with no hope that it won't happen again or it won't get worse. In a recent town hall, all of this was dismissed by county staff as a very matter of fact as just normal. It's just the way it is. If you thought COVID's new normal was bad, at least people could make sense of it. The only sense citizens can make of Cobb's new normal is that Cobb leadership and staff just accept failure as normal. I can understand the staff accepting failure. That's all they have to work with. But what's your excuse? Why do you accept failure as normal? Why do you accept the hardship of this failure upon its residents? I can assure you that people are not turning the page. You heard that last meeting. So you're going to hire 5 people to fix stormwater issues because somehow they can do it cheaper than employees. Yet they won't actually address any of these issues. People in this county have been willing and wanting to collaborate with the county government to solve these issues. I have a suggestion. Instead of having a celebration in June, how about inviting the people the chair failed so far as special guest of honor and celebrate the success you create between now and June? I believe you could at least get 4 votes for that motion. Then you would have something to actually celebrate besides the new normal of failure. Thank you.
The next speaker is Ms. Rosman.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners. I just wanted to address some of these issues like the stormwater runoff and how much of an impact that is having. And if we don't have the infrastructure in Cobb County, it starts making us question what our taxpayer money is going towards, because it's not all for parties and for nice things. It's also for taking care of what we already have. And a lot of decisions are being made with a lot of progressive decisions, and that might not reflect our community, because our community is based on people that chose to live in Cobb County because they like suburbs. And we don't like being demonized because we like suburbs. If we want to move from Cobb County over to other metro Atlanta counties, to Gwinnett or Fulton, not that there's anything wrong with any of those counties, but they're very urbanized. And there's a reason. I mean, I used to live in Buckhead. I don't live there anymore because I do like the space. I do like having the values of low taxes and good schools, single-family homes, and I don't want to be demonized because of that. So and when you're looking at all these cities that are looking to become like city hoods, out of Cobb County, that's going to have like a huge impact on all of Cobb County. And you have to ask yourself, why this mass exit from Cobb County? What is the reason? And maybe that reason is the kind of woke ideology and very progressive ideas that and leadership that we're dealing with. Also, I just wanted to mention too, a lot of money is being spent of the taxpayer money, and we're kind of curious as to why it's being spent that way. And one of the expenditures would be with the chairwoman of having the, having security detail at the degree that you do, having one sheriff, one police officer, sometimes two sheriff's deputies escorting you. And I don't know, I don't think that previous chairs had any kind of detail like that, security detail, which makes me wonder, do you not feel safe with your constituents, or is that kind of like something that the rest of Metro Atlanta chairs do, is that they kind of have somebody taking them around, and is that excessive? And I hope you don't feel, when I come up and speak, it's not a verbal attack. It is because I love my county. I respect my county, and I want it to be like it was when I moved here, and I'm not looking for a big change. And I think that a lot of people, in sales, it's called a bait and switch. Here, move to Cobb. We have low taxes, great schools, and then it's kind of the trajectory is not where we want it to go. And so, make history in a good way, make history in a way that we can be proud of our county, and make tough decisions based on what the taxpayers want, and not so much maybe other influences like maybe the Cobb Chamber, developers, attorneys, and really, because we kind of are your boss. We're paying for everything, and y'all took an oath, to be good stewards. So thank you.
The next speaker is Ms. Muhammad.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, citizens who live in Cobb, and every person under the sound of my voice. Good morning. My name is Kamisha Muhammad, and I'm here on behalf of myself and also on behalf of some of my neighbors. Last year, we came and spoke on behalf of people who were in need of rental assistance and who were facing evictions from their communities because some of the agencies that had money, they were not giving it out in a great fashion. And I believe a lot of that has been resolved. So I'm grateful for your assistance in that. Today, I want to speak to you about issues going on at where I still live, Midwood Riverside Apartments located off Riverside Parkway. We have had severe flooding issues since August, September of last year. We've had raw sewage coming up into our apartment buildings, and the management company, which is Radco Living, has a great corporate headquarters right up there on Galleria Parkway. They seem to have their hands tied or just either not care. They have constant staff changes. It seems like every month we have a new manager, we have new staff people, so it's not creating any continuity so that our issues can really be resolved. I have written so many emails where I've gotten responses, and sometimes I haven't gotten responses, and things have just dragged on for too long. They know what the issue is, and they blame it on the owner of the property, which is Zebulon Capital. They're a major investment group buying and selling properties all over the Atlanta metro area, and they have several in the South Cobb area. So if this is happening in my apartment complex, then I just can naturally assume that this is the same thing that's going on in other complexes all over South Cobb. We are working people. We get up and go to work. I get up and go to work every day. And I literally am traumatized by the events that I've experienced since September coming up to now, where water is backing up into my apartment. Twice in February, I had raw sewage backing up into my apartment. These people don't care to the fact that they have an emergency line. The management company has an emergency line. They don't monitor it. They don't call you back. They barely email us back. So I did what any person would do as a taxpaying citizen in Cobb County. I went to code enforcement twice. And honestly, I was disappointed because it seems like it's just one person. One person. And the gentleman, Mr. Lauren Wolf is his name, the newest person that's there, because I did try to speak with Greg Nelson. He never got to me. So now I'm on to Lauren, who initially said, I have 27 people in front of you. So time has passed. He's actually supposed to be coming out to my apartment complex today, so I'm grateful for that. But now it's like, okay, what's the point? Because I haven't had flooding since the last time flooding happened. So I don't even know what's going to become of this particular situation. So in my opinion, it needs to be more than one person that works in code enforcement that's able to come out and help people with their issues. And I'm not the only one. I've talked to other neighbors in other buildings in this complex who've had the same ongoing issues. They still have holes in their walls because that was never repaired. They still deal with flooding. Children have gotten sick with staph infections behind this. And to me, it just seems like this is the beginning of gentrification, because they've talked about building apartment communities in our same area where they're going to charge $1,400 and $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. We're not paying that now, but if they let the situation fester long enough, maybe we'll move out. Maybe we'll just go somewhere else, and then they can fix it up like they should have done in the first place, and then they can charge the other people who want to live there more money. My community is full of Black women and families, Hispanic people, especially the one on the other side of QT. I think they might have sold that one by now. But then the one that's off of Hillcrest, they own that too. This is Black and brown people in their communities, and from the research that I've shown, this is where they like to buy their properties, where people like me live. So it seems like there's an agenda to treat us like crap, traumatize us with this stuff, because I seriously am traumatized. Every morning I get up and walk downstairs and I'm thinking, am I gonna find stuff on my floor this morning? I'm literally traumatized by this stuff. Imagine pulling your washer and dryer out from the wall and seeing human feces on the floor. Imagine it. I've experienced that. And this has been going on since August, September.
Ms. Muhammad, I'm sorry, your time's up.
I believe our community development director is here. Yes, may you please connect with this lady who's here? Thank you.
Chairwoman, that completes this morning's portion of public comment.
Thank you. I've been trying to take advantage of some opportunity to address some remarks and public comments so that some things don't linger that could be addressed, including us connecting the last speaker with staff. Back in 2011, a law student wrote a lengthy paper that encouraged Cobb County's consideration of implementing a stormwater utility in light of its budget shortfall, continued growth, and recent flood events. And that law student was me. I wrote that in law school and did a lot of research on flooding in Cobb because the Austell area where I lived was the epicenter and continues to be because of the confluence of basins that go into that area. With the recent flood events, the day that it happened, well, yes, because it happened very early that morning, I went out with staff and they drove me around the county. so I can personally see the damage that took place. As chairwoman, I don't believe that I need to toot my own horn often. And I know this was an issue that primarily impacted District 2. And I support the District 2 commissioner's efforts in this area. But because of the history and interest that I have in this subject matter, right after I came back from that meeting, I spoke with our Director of Water, and I said, we need to get that stormwater utility on the agenda now. See, I asked for that to happen when I first came in chair in 2013, but there wasn't board support for it. And year after year, I kept asking if there was board support for it. There was no board support for it. In fact, in a prior administration, there wasn't adequate board support for it. This is the first board to support putting that in place. This is a lot of criticism that this board receives for moving on something that prior boards didn't move on. Please know, because all of us don't go around patting ourselves on the back for having interest in this, doesn't mean that we don't have your interest at heart. We look forward to having enough board members to pass this year. And I'm hoping that we can stand together instead of thinking that we fight each other on an issue that we agree on. I'd also like to share, as far as having security detail, trust me, it's for your safety as well as mine. Often with a lot of things that I have going on here at the county, you don't want me on these streets screeching to get from one meeting to another. There are times when I'm actually facilitating meetings or am in meetings when I'm going from meeting to meeting. That may be for the public safety, but let me tell you why it's also for my safety. Yes, there are persons of the public who have reached out to me in ways that have made me not feel safe and made me not feel my children are safe. There is an active matter that's actually in the court system about it. I don't have to necessarily go around talking about these things, but I am very fortunate that there are members of public safety that reached out to me for help, because I was continually asked, am I going to receive assistance? Because other chairs and mayors of the Metro Atlanta region have it. I didn't consider it, but I can tell you when something came to my attention that made me fearful for my children, this is a service that I do appreciate having. I do not like being up here and feeling like I have to go back and forth, and I want the public to feel as if they can come here and share anything, and I appreciate you, Ms. Rosman, for the way that you do address your concerns. I am more than willing to have conversations like these, not only here on the dais, but one-on-one. There's so much we can do together. With that, we'll move to our consent agenda. Commissioners, and for our public, the consent agenda items do run on the screen prior to the meeting, and they run on the screen following the meeting. And I'm going to put forward of a motion that we approve the agenda items as they have been revised and authorize execution of the necessary documents by the appropriate county personnel. Is there
second? And Chairwoman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we actually have a non-agenda item that we do need to add to that consent agenda prior to the vote.
I believe that that's agenda item 44, is it? Yes, it's agenda item 44. Thank you, County Clerk. So before we call a vote on the consent agenda, we do need to add agenda item 44, which is to approve a tolling agreement and a joint defense common interest agreement with Jacob Engineering's group related to a failure at the South Cobb Reclamation Facility, the influent lift station that's been constructed as part of the South Cobb Tunnel. which we've had robust discussions about. And so, Commissioners, I'd ask for someone to please put forward a motion for us to add that to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Okay, so again, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as revised, and there was a second. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Then I'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Commissioners. With that, we are moving on to our regular tab. And the first regular tab, I believe, is of, I see the county manager coming forward, the county manager's office.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners. Our item this morning is for the board to approve the final allocation of excess 2016 SPLOST revenues. This time last year, we did a preliminary allocation, and now we have received our final check from the state as of the end of January. I do remind the board that these allocations had to go to approved Tier 1 2016 SPLOST projects. So it could not be used for anything new. It had to go to existing 2016 SPLOST projects. So at this time, we would ask that the board authorize the final allocation of 2016 SPLOST revenues above projections to the eligible county departments, authorize the corresponding budget transaction, and further authorize the chairman to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Commissioner Burrow.
Yes. Jimmy, if any of these projects that are on the Tier 1, but if any of these projects that the money that has come in final have a savings, will that go back into the 16 SPLOST for additional revenue above projections, or how does that work?
Yes, except for one of the projects, the firing range, because we have outside funding sources from county departments that are being used to purchase the property. It would go, if that project comes in under, then it would be used, and this will be addressed in a agenda item that you will approve later today, or will consider later today. It would go back to those departments, but all the rest of them, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioners, are there any other questions or comments? All right, we have a motion and a second. I'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have our Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Deputy County Manager. We have two items from the Sheriff's Department. The first is to approve the purchase of cell door locking systems for the Adult Detention Center. The locking systems that we currently have been in place since the Adult Detention Center was built, and they're in need of replacement and repair. This will be funded entirely from the 2016 SPLOST. And so we're asking the Board of Commissioners to approve the purchase order for the replacement of the cell door locking system at the Cobb County Adult Detention Center with sole source vendor Cornerstone Detention Products in the amount of $795,056.85. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
All right, so moved as presented. Second. Any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Second item is similar, but it's the replacement of the motors that actually power the cell doors. And again, those motors have been in place since the Adult Detention Center was built, about 30 years. This will also be entirely funded with the 2016 SPLOST. And the Sheriff's Department is asking the Board of Commissioners to approve the purchase order for the replacement of motors that power doors at the Adult Detention Center with a sole source vendor, Willow Product Company, in the amount of $398,450, and authorize the corresponding budget transactions, and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
All right, so moved as presented.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Commissioners.
All right, next up, we have DOT.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners.
Good morning. And Drew, if you can help us in referring back to Agenda Item 13 out of consent, we had some discussion about that yesterday.
Glad to do it.
Great, thank you.
Agenda item number 13 was to approve the Federal Transit Administration annual certifications and assurances. This is a requirement of receiving federal transit funds, and all operators throughout the country have been required to assure that they will be compliant with those federal regulations. Did want to note at the top of those assurances, just to hopefully clarify some of the questions that have come from these particular certifications. Again, right at the top of the attachment to that agenda item, not every provision of every certification will apply to every applicant or award. If a provision of a certification does not apply to the applicant or its award, FTA will not enforce that provision. And that's just a function of the FTA administering funds across the country and all transit operators throughout the country. Were there any questions on this or any other consent?
Yes, Commissioner Richardson.
Thank you, Drew. There was an item that we passed earlier in consent regarding the GIS mapping for impervious surface, and I just wanted to, I understand that there were aspects that were tied to your area operationally.
Absolutely. Primarily, the impervious surface is a function of stormwater, and it is a layer that they maintain. It is a layer that DOT does use on a regular basis for asset management. We're able to use the impervious surface layer to determine the pavement widths, the sidewalk widths, to further and better understand exactly how much infrastructure we have when we're looking at, say, a paving project and determining how many square yards of asphalt.
Okay, thank you. So it's relatively routine as a part of upkeep?
It is.
Thank you. That's my only question.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. On regular, DOT does have 9 items for the board's consideration this morning. Our first item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve an intergovernmental agreement with the Cobb County Board of Education for the donation of right-of-way, temporary construction easement, and temporary driveway easement on a tract of land identified as project parcel number 17 for Lower Roswell Road, project number E6020. Authorize acceptance of the donation of required right-of-way and temporary easements for said project, and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
All right, Commissioner Richardson.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve change order number 1 final to the contract with CW Matthews Contracting Company Incorporated, a savings in the amount of $424,423.02 for I-20 eastbound ramps at Riverside Parkway, project number X2409. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Commissioner Sheffield.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve a contract with Butch Thompson Enterprises Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $3,984,167.15 for Hillcrest Drive Sidewalk, project number X2764. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Commissioner Sheffield.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve change order number 1 final to project number D2865 to the 2021 countywide unit price contract with Chatfield Contracting Incorporated, a savings to the project in the amount of $101,745.22 for drainage system repairs on Lands Mill. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Commissioner Richardson.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We had a second. Did you hear it? Okay. Any questions or comments? We'll call the question. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve change order number 1 final to the contract with Butch, Thompson Enterprises Incorporated, a savings to the project in the amount of $10,130.38 for drainage system repairs on Forest Brook Parkway Phase 2, project number D2842. Authorize a corresponding budget transaction and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Commissioner Richardson.
So moved. Second.
All right, any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve change order number 1 final to project number D2870 to the 2021 countywide unit price contract with Chatfield Contracting Incorporated, a savings to the project in the amount of $53,841.34 for drainage system repairs on Arani Drive, authorize the corresponding budget transactions, and further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
Once again, Commissioner Richardson.
Very popular today. I love it. So moved.
All right, is there a
Second.
Any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize procurement of closed-circuit television cameras and mounting hardware at a total cost not to exceed $67,229.85 for incident management, project number E5021, and further authorize the chairwoman to, and further authorize the corresponding budget transactions.
All right, so moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Our next item is to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize the sole source procurement of professional services from Arcadis in an amount not to exceed $45,513.20 for support of Geographic Information Systems Crash Analysis Tools, project number X2547, and further authorize the corresponding budget transfer.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? We'll call the question. And it passes 5-0.
Thank you. And our final item, I'll provide a little bit of background. Currently, the department has 75 active drainage projects throughout the county. These projects have come at a time that has limited our available contractor resources, has stretched those resources thin, as well as with our staff, when we're able to perform those projects, we're able to perform those at a savings of approximately $100,000 compared to contracted based on analysis of some recent projects. So we bring forward this item to request a SPLOST crew, a crew that would be funded entirely out of SPLOST that would work exclusively on SPLOST projects. Therefore, the department recommends the Board of Commissioners authorize the creation of 5 full-time positions effective immediately to support drainage infrastructure maintenance and improvements, to include 1 maintenance supervisor, grade 15, 1 senior crew leader, grade 13, 2 senior heavy equipment operators, grade 13, and 1 senior equipment operator, grade 10, to be funded by SPLOST Transportation Improvements Programs, and further authorize the corresponding budget and accounting transactions.
Thank you, Drew. So moved as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion? We'll call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have support services.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, Deputy County Manager. My item this morning is a joint item. This purchase will be funded equally between the Police Department, Sheriff's Office, and General Fund balance appropriation. We are requesting that the Board of Commissioners approve an agreement for purchase and sale with Ackerman East West LLC for the acquisition of approximately 8.39 acres of real property located on the east-west connector adjacent to the police training facility, more specifically described in Exhibit A, in the amount of $625,000 and upon the terms and conditions set forth in the attached agreement for purchase and sale. Additionally, we request the Board of Commissioners authorize payment of associated land acquisition costs estimated to be $15,000, authorize a fund balance appropriation within the general fund in the amount of $213,333.32, authorize the corresponding budget transactions, and further authorize the chairwoman to exercise all necessary documents and take all other action necessary or appropriate to accomplish the foregoing purchase.
Commissioner Sheffield.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the question. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, and Deputy County Manager. I have two items this morning, both joint items with the Communications Department. The first item is to approve Salesforce Marketing Cloud Implementation and Support 2016 SPLOS Project Technology Improvements Program X0020. We request the Board of Commissioners approve Addendum 2 and supplemental terms and conditions for statements of work numbers 3 and 4 with Carasoft Technology Corporation under provisions of the NASPO Value Point and Master Agreement number AR2472 and the Georgia Department of Administrative Services participating addendum contract number 99999 SPD 520190814-001 in an amount not to exceed $70,779.89. Authorize a 10% contingency in an amount not to exceed $7,077.99. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the question. The motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Our second item is to approve Salesforce 311 CRM Implementation and Support 2016 SPLOS Project Technology Improvements Program X0020. We request the Board of Commissioners approve Addendum 3 and supplemental terms and conditions for Statement of Work number 5 with Carasoft Technology Corporation under provisions of the NASPO Value Point and Master Agreement number AR2472 and the Georgia Department of Administrative Services participating addendum contract number 99999 SPD 520190814-0001 in an amount not to exceed $1,216,234.75. Authorize a 10% contingency in amount not to exceed $121,623.48. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
All right, so moved as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Just like to share that this tool will allow us to be a lot more responsive to the public when they call the county. We're taking the infrastructure that we use for the call center during COVID, and we're utilizing it so that we can be responsive for other issues that come up at the county. So I'm excited to see this move forward, and thank you for your partnership with communications and other staff members to help this move forward. So with that, I'm going to call the question. The motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we have public safety and our fire chief.
Yeah, good morning, everyone, Chairwoman, Commissioners, and Deputy County Manager. Fire only has one today, and we would like the Board of Commissioners to authorize the expenditure of 2016 SPLOS Funding Program X1050-U in the amount of $207,148.97 for furniture to renovate the Fire Training Administration Classroom building located at 2109 Valor Drive. Authorize the corresponding budget transactions and further authorize the purchasing director to execute the necessary documents.
All right, Commissioner Gambrill.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the question. The motion passes 5-0.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks.
And we have a regular tab under our CDBG office.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we have one item for approval by the Board of Commissioners for the reallocation of the unexpended American Rescue Plan Food Program Assistance Funding in the amount of $13,076.49 to authorize the corresponding budget transactions and to further authorize the chairwoman to execute the necessary documents.
All right, so moved as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, I'll call the question. The motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now at our second public comment.
Yes, Chairwoman, and there's no speakers that have signed up for the second
Okay,
portion.
thank you. We are now at our appointment tab. And okay, the first tab is my tab to state appointments for 2022. I'd like to announce the appointment of Commissioner Joanne Burrow to Vice Chair for 2022 and Commissioner Richardson as the Board Liaison to Cobb Travel and Tourism. And I'd also like to thank Commissioner Sheffield and Commissioner Gambrill for your service as Vice Chair and on Travel and Tourism respectively. Our next tab I'm going to need the board support in is for our appointment to Highland Rivers Health, which is still outstanding. And so with that, I move that we approve Randy Kreider, our Public Safety Director, to the Highland Rivers Health Governing Board.
Second.
Is there a second? All right, that's the second. Any discussion? Call the question. All right. The motion carries 5-0, and thank you, Randy, for representing our interest on the board. We are now up to our Commissioner's public address, and we'll start with Commissioner Gambrill.
Thank you. As we learned today, March is Women History Month for 2022, and it's a time to commemorate and encourage the study, observance, and celebration of the vital role of women in American history. The North Cobb Regional Library has compiled a book list of books by, for, and about women of all ages. And on Wednesday, March 16th at 1 p.m., they will be discussing the book, The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. Please join us. Cobb County 4-H was recognized for having the highest number of participants on February 12th. 55 of our Cobb County 4th through 5th grade 4-Hers traveled to Alcovey High School in Covington to compete at the Georgia 4-H District Project Achievement. There were 8 counties represented with 159 competitors. Project Achievement is a public speaking competition where students select a topic of interest and give a 4 to 6 minute informative speech on their chosen topic. Project Achievement helps students to improve their writing and public speaking skills, all while learning more about a topic of interest. For more information, you can contact our County Extension 4-H agent, Brittany Lee, at 770-528-4070, or you can visit ugaextension.org/Cobb, or stop by our UGA Extension Cobb County office at 678 South Cobb Drive, Suite 200 in Marietta. Join us for our town hall on cityhood on April 7th at 6 p.m. at Lost Mountain Park. Our initial plans are to have this event held outside due to the large number of attendees that have been on Zoom calls in other cityhood. If inclement weather is present, we will then use the senior center. So please join us. And congratulations to all of the employees who participated in the 1,000-minute exercise for the month of February, which was the American Heart Month. The total amount of exercise for the group, which was 16 participants, actually I think 16 participants exceeded the 1,000 minutes, but we totaled 30, which is National Nutritional Month. Sign up for my newsletter for details on that calorie counting challenge. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Richardson.
Absolutely, and I think that first place was because of you.
Yeah, it definitely was because of you.
I mean, even during, if you were watching our retreat, you were committed.
Yes.
During every break. Taking that walk. So congratulations to you. Certainly, happy Women's History Month. It's a time to reflect and really just think about all of the different roles that we play within history, how we contribute in our unique ways. And for so long, there are so many stories that are not told. And so this is that chance to make sure that they are and that they're celebrated as well. So, from the office, Priorities Tour has been extended until March 18th. So if you have an organization, if you're an HOA, if you're a group, if you're just passionate small set of citizens, if it's your book club, schedule some time. I'll go over all the different things that have come in through around the district of importance and answer questions. Obviously open up the door to have one-on-ones. And for those that have been on the tour, you will get your dashboard link soon, I promise. Things have just been a little bit busy in the office if you don't know. But it has been extended, and I do hope that everyone partakes, because it's good for me as well, because I get to hear your feedback, and there will be a survey that follows up as well. All right, this Thursday, we have the Senior Mental Health Town Hall. If you went to the Youth Mental Health Town Hall, it was an awesome crowd, awesome presentations, certainly a wonderful fair of resources that took place prior. But for this one, my office is collaborating with Cobb Collaborative and Cobb Senior Services to host the Senior Mental Health Town Hall next month for seniors and their caregivers this month. The event will start at noon with a tabling event for organizations that provide mental health resources in Cobb. The second portion of the event will be a panel discussion at 1 o'clock. This will take place Thursday, March 10th. It will be held at the Senior Wellness Center located at 1150 Powder Spring Street in Marietta. Please use the QR code to register or visit any of our channels, and I'm pretty sure it went out through the newsletter as well. And I'll be joined by some other commissioners. Really looking forward to all that comes from that. Flooding aftermath follow-up. Just wanted to extend an appreciation to staff that participated on that call, that's certainly working in lockstep, looking at all the solutions that are available to the commissioners. I know there's sincere, that's where we all agree that this is an important issue. It's all of the different ways that we can address it. What's the best way to proceed into this next move forward? So definitely appreciation to staff and an appreciation to the community, who is certainly giving us some space, some time, some grace to be able to work through all of these. As I had stated on the call, it didn't happen overnight. The storm certainly impacted us overnight, but we didn't get here overnight. And it's just finding the best path to move forward. So really just appreciate that. You can see a screenshot here of the presentation it was being given. Yeah. And it was just it was an engaging conversation, though. And I think there were also some new cases that came up as a result of that call. Next, community updates. House District 45 special election. A special election is set for April to fill a Georgia State House seat that represents parts of Cobb and Fulton counties. The special election for Georgia House District 45 to replace Representative Matt Dollar will be held on April 5th. If a runoff is needed, it will be held on May 3rd. Early in-person voting for the special election will begin on March 14th. Monday, March 7th is the last day to register to vote for this special election. There are only 12 polling precincts within Cobb County eligible to vote during the April 5th special election. Please go to cobbelections.org or call 770-528-2581 to determine if you are eligible to vote in this election. And lastly, join the Cobb Parks team. Cobb Parks is looking for young, excited community members who are looking for year-round or summer part-time jobs. They need camp counselors and lifeguards for the aquatic centers. Lifeguard positions include a lifeguard certification class for those interested in becoming a lifeguard and a water safety certification for those wishing to teach swim lessons. These positions are open to anyone ages 16 and up, and there are over 100 positions available, so make sure to apply at the QR code or email Mario Henson for more information. That concludes all of my announcements. Please sign up for our newsletter if you are not on there. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Burrow?
Thank you. Before I get started with my announcements, I'd like to congratulate again our award winners from earlier this morning, Ross Cavett, Raymond, our Jeopardy star, and Melissa, of course, for 911. Congratulations. So this past Saturday was a busy day in District 3. We distributed test kits at Piedmont Church. We had a good turnout. They had some left over that they will be distributing later. So I'd just like to say thank you to Cobb Douglas Public Health, Cobb EMA, Cassie, and Cobb Police, and all the volunteers from Piedmont Church that made this a huge success. And we were joined too by the chairwoman. So also, Sandy Plains Baseball had their opening day on Saturday, along with a lot of the other Little League teams, but Sandy Plains Baseball was the only ceremonial first pitch. And I'm thrilled to do this every year. Chairwoman joined me this year, and guess what? We both made it to the plate.
With a lot of practice.
Yeah, we did practice beforehand. So thank you to Michael Brantley and the Parks team for coming out and supporting us and helping us warm up. Okay, for St. Patrick's Day, we have a special on pet adoptions from the Cobb County Animal Shelter. American Pit Bull Terriers, American Staffordshire Terriers, and Staffordshire Bull Terriers, or any mixes of those breeds, are only $20. They are fully vetted, they have their shots, they're spayed or neutered, and they're microchipped. So can't beat $20 for all that, and take home your new best friend. After a 2-year hiatus because of COVID, we are now back to Coffee with Your Cops. So last Tuesday, Cobb County Police hosted a Coffee with Your Cops at Chick-fil-A, Lassiter Chick-fil-A, on Shallowford Road. And we had a great visit with the community. Chick-fil-A provided cookies and drinks, and thank you to our community affairs officers and the citizens for attending. The Cobb Veterans Memorial Foundation invites you to Vino for Veterans, a wine tasting for charity on Saturday, March 12th from 2 to 4 at the Marietta Wine Market on 18 Powder Spring Street, just on the square. This event is open to the public with a $10 donation, and we hope you will join us for a great wine and a good time and support the Cobb Veterans Memorial. And you can go to cobbveteransmemorial.com for additional information and to see what the memorial is all about. Also, coming next Monday to the Cobb Civic Center, the Wreaths Across America mobile display will be in the parking lot for a tour. And inside the Civic Center will be the Cobb Veterans Memorial Foundation display, their booth, to learn more about that. And as an added attraction, the Braves World Series trophy will be inside, and the public is invited to come and get your picture. So please join us for this special cause to support our veterans and the Memorial Foundation. The Noonday Shanty 510K race will be taking place on March 26th. This is Town Center CID is hosting their inaugural Noonday Shanty 5K on March 26th. So, Commissioner Gamble, we're looking for you to sign up. She should be. You can walk. You can walk. See, runners, walkers, families of all are encouraged to attend. We are in practice now. So you can register online at towncentercid.com/alliance/noonday-shanty. And coming to the Civic Center in May 13th and 14th, United Military Care and Cobb County have come together to host the We Care Veterans Resource Fair. It's from 9 to 5 on both Friday and Saturday, May 13th and 14th at the Cobb Civic Center. Veterans can attend this one-stop solution for veteran benefits and assistance for things like shelter information, haircuts, enroll in the VA, medication assistance, and all kinds of vendors will be there on hand to assist veterans. It is free to all veterans and their family members, and anyone is welcome. everyone is welcome. You can visit wecarevetfair.com for more information. And then this is my contact information, the county website, and for my newsletter to sign up, and my assistant and mine's contact information. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Sheffield?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as we enter Women's History Month, I just want to say thank you to all of my co-commissioners and the chair. It's been a pleasure serving with you all. Thank you so much for your service to our communities. Okay, Melissa, I think you're still here. We just want to wish congratulations to Melissa again for her recent recognition and award as the 9/11 Director of the Year. This is a very notable accomplishment considering Melissa has been with the county for less than 1 year. She joined Cobb County in June of 2021 as the 9/11 Emergency Communications Director and has been on the fast track since joining the Cobb team. The recognition is well deserved. Must Ministries continue to be a bright spot for communities as they reach areas with little to no access to resources. The nonprofit's neighborhood pantry mission is to eliminate hunger for at-risk students in local schools, providing them a greater opportunity to succeed in school and life. New clients are encouraged to register for Must Ministries' upcoming food pantry distributions. Please visit mustministries.org for additional information. The Mableton Community Advocacy Nonprofit Group, MIC, or the Mableton Improvement Coalition, will host the inaugural Taste of Mableton, One Mableton Stronger Together, on April 2nd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The day will commence with a parade starting at 9 a.m. at Mableton Walk and will follow to the Mabel House Complex. The festival will include a variety of food, live music, crafts, exhibits, and an opportunity to hear from Cobb County representatives and elected officials. Kids Fun Town will feature plenty of activities for children of all ages, including a public safety zone with interactive demonstrations by police, fire, and emergency services. For additional information, please visit mableton.org. The free festival will be held at the Mabel House Complex located at 5239 Floyd Road in Mableton. D4 district-wide spring cleaning. Join me and Keep Cobb Beautiful, our Adopt a Mile partners, and other community stakeholders on April 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our inaugural D4 community cleanup. The district-wide event will bring awareness to the challenges that the district is dealing with regarding litter. Litter is a county-wide issue, but on April 9th, we will roll up our sleeves to help tackle the issue in District 4. Let's do our part in keeping our communities clean and keeping Cobb beautiful. Please send an email to deidre.watts@cobbcounty.org for the sign-up link. Are you interested in serving your community? Our office is currently accepting applications to fill District 4 Advisory Board positions. Serving on the board is a great way to learn about local politics. Qualifications are required for select board appointments. These qualifications are stipulated in either the Cobb County Code or the Georgia Code. For board descriptions, please visit cobbcounty.org, and to apply for a board position, please email deidre.watts@cobbcounty.org, and she will send you the form to sign up. Thank you so much. That concludes my announcements.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ross, when the commissioners send you their flyers, I need for you to send them to me because there are a number of events that I want to attend, and I'm not scribbling fast enough to make sure that I get it all down. So there's some great things going on all across the county. All right. This week, in fact, on Thursday, there will be a blood drive to address the shortage that is taking place nationally due to the impact of the pandemic. And so I want to encourage not only our employees here at the county, but also our citizens, to please come out for our blood drive. It will be held at the Cobb County Civic Center, and again, it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just want to encourage the public to please check out our website. There are 4 active cityhood movements here in the county. However, there is a one-stop shop to learn about as much as you can, all of them in one place, and it is at our Cobb County website, cobbcounty.org/cityhood. The commissioners are partnering and having meetings around the county over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Our first meeting will kick off here in this room on Wednesday, and that will be at 6 p.m. Originally, it was scheduled for today. However, because there is a cityhood meeting that's in Lost Mountain that's gained a lot of momentum, we did not want to conflict with that. So again, I encourage the public to please participate in our meeting this Wednesday, where we'll address the cityhood movements that are taking place around the county. Affordable housing is an issue that continues to come up not only in Cobb, but in our region and in fact across the nation. My office has been meeting with different policy stakeholders to cobble information for me to help assess what role I can play with respect to affordable housing, and they're also looking forward to sharing that information with county commissioners. I'd also like to share some of their findings with the public, and we'll present that at a town hall meeting on Tuesday, March 29th at 7:00 p.m. We are fortunate that during that meeting, we'll have Mike Carnathan of the Atlanta Regional Commission talk about the impact of housing, not only in the region, but specific to Cobb County. And we'll also have representation from our Housing Authority, our Development Authority, Community Development, and my office. I hope that you can join us on Tuesday, March 29th. This is belated, but we've not only had significant opportunities to recognize people in the county today, but yesterday we recognized the birthday of Commissioner Gambrell, and it was such an exciting event that Captain America actually came to Marietta Square to help celebrate the occasion. If only all of us could be that fortunate. I know. But certainly happy birthday to you, Commissioner. And lastly, again, congratulations to Raymond. What an amazing ode he gave to Cobb County Libraries and all that they do to educate our citizens. I felt that call to action to make sure that I get to a Cobb County library and make sure my children are there too. With that, thank you everyone for being with us. Oh, one more slide. On March 31st of this month, we will, March 31st, that is this month at 7:00 p.m., we'll have our State of the County address, and encourage residents to please register so that we can make sure that we have enough seats and enough food for those who will be in attendance. And you can find out more by looking at my newsletter, which will go out this week. And I believe that's the final slide. Great. With that, everyone, thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. That formally concludes our meeting. Thank you.